Oh, all right, and we're live. It's Ted Hicks from Late Night Parents and True Armor back in the building. We're trying a different shot. I don't like this shot, but we'll try it
This is a better shot.
For a moment. We'll try it for a moment.
Get out of in the chat. Tell them this is a better shot.
So the versus Patti LaBelle versus Gladys Knight. Are you watching it? Are you not? It's on Instagram.
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
It's like 500,000 people connected on Instagram.
Oh, I haven't been on Instagram since the pandemic started.
Really?
Or Facebook. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, no Instagram or Facebook stuff since February 14th.
So why no Facebook? Why no Instagram?
It's a personal reason. It's a personal thing. Okay. If 2020 has taught me anything, it's to cut ties with all the lies that I've been living with.
Cut all the lies, right, or lives?
Cut ties with all the lives that you've been living in.
Okay.
And if you ever want to see me again, I will understand. But it's a Smash Mouth lyric. That group has had like 5 really good existential songs for like a pop rock band. Some of your listeners who know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just kind of like, I had this pandemic started. I was dealing in like nonsense and people who I kind of I don't want to say put on a pedestal, but I was fond of. I began to reevaluate, like, essentially, what have you done for me lately kind of logic. And okay. I was sick of like being sounding boards and kind of like giving good advice, whether it was good, you know. I was trying to be in bag of ants for a lot of people, essentially. And this whole thing broke down. The first thing I thought was family's important and friendships are important, and who's family and who's friendship. So yeah, I got off of the nonsense, which is Facebook and Instagram. But
so did it make you a better person?
I may eventually return to it, but
did it make you a better person? The time away.
I think I am. I think the 6 months away from it, 8 months away from how long it's been, February to September.
So what did you do differently? What did you replace the time that you burnt away on Facebook and Instagram?
Well, first of all, I had to harden my soul to some thoughts and ideas, which it took me like 3 months to do. But in between, I just hated on the idea of it a lot. That after having tried to be so righteous for so long, this is where I'm at, right? I famously looked for a church to go to when I lived in New York. Famously looked for a good church to go to for like 5 years, right? So I was just kind of like, so down here, I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm just going to cook. I'm going to game. I'm going to get good at this Twitch thing. I'm bad at Twitch. Essentially, I was trying to grow myself in the sphere, the info sphere, like the internet, web, and all these things that all the young kids, can do like this. And I'm sort of like, what's a bit rate, and so that's what I did. So I'm you pick up new habits, you learn new things. I'm back to kind of like, I don't want to say drawing because I haven't drawn yet, but I've been sussing out a story to write because I want to send it to like this kind of like very interesting comic company called Arcadia, I want to say. Okay. But it's the idea that I reset. I guess it's a primal way. I reset back to when I started being creative, which is about when I was 12. So I would watch Jeopardy, and I would sit at the kitchen table and like draw and do my homework and and now, and I also would work out in the basement, not when I was 12, but when I was 16. I sort of had the same routine. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm back to working out. I'm back to doing other stuff, cooking, uh, side gigs. Don't want to talk about. But before that, I was just.
So how much time did you burn on Facebook and Instagram
You'd be
per week?
surprised. You'd be surprised. I commented on everything. Political was my thing. I never dealt with anything other than the politics of it. But
Okay.
it was also family stuff.
Okay.
So it was sort of married in with some people take their Facebook and they separate it, work, friend, all that.
Mm-hmm.
That I guess that's one way to do it. But my Facebook was more of just kind of like a conscious kind of like flow of who I knew and who knew me and who commented. So there's people that I knew from college, there's people I knew from work, there's family members, but it was always commenting on like modern day stuff, which I feel good about because it's been up there for 10 years and little of it is wrong. Like I was talking to my man Panic about this, that this is why I when I left that, I sort of fell into Twitter and YouTube versus Facebook and Instagram. And
How much time did you spend on per week?
well, I would check it daily, but like a lot. It was almost like candygrams, like
Like an hour a day?
no, man. If I got up at 7, I check it immediately, and then brush my teeth and cook breakfast and check it again. I would check it. I would say on the half hour, I must have checked it every 5 minutes. So that's what?
So all day?
Yeah, all day until I went to sleep. It was Facebook. I'd trade stories and messages, and I'd hate on Hillary Clinton. I predict the election. So yeah, but I called while she was losing way earlier than anybody else called while she was losing, and I was like, man, I should be on TV. I'm so great with this shit. But again, I was just talking to my friends and people who knew me personally. I wasn't trying to have a base of 100,000 people or whatever the case may be. Because I'm just slightly outside of that sphere. You know what I mean? But it was fun. And now I'm like, well, I need a hobby. And it's not going to be, making sure my friends are all right anymore. It's going to be something different. Mm-hmm. So now I'm doing this, which is...
But how many... You know what I always noticed about Facebook and like social media in general?
You get addicted to it. Like I used to be a smoker, right? And
no, but besides that, your actual core of actual friends is so small, compared to people. All the people that you're connected to.
See, not me. See, I know people who have like 5,000 and 10,000 friends. Mm-hmm. I only hovered around 200 people.
Okay,
200 people. And of those 200 people, I knew and had met and had lunch and dinner with at least 125 of those 200 people.
That's unique. That's a unique story right there.
Those are the people that I was talking to. But most of my stuff was always open. Every now and then someone would find me and like me and like subscribe to my Facebook page.
So I give you just a brief example. On Facebook, let's say I have about 900 friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You probably know 75 to 100 of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And other people, it's just like, oh, well, we have a similar so we clicked friend, and
which is you don't want to be
and that's all fine, but when you look at it, and I've been talking about this for years I said, Facebook is nice, but then you get to a point where maybe not. But then I think it's great for the targeted groups. So let's say if you have a specific interest and there's a
Right.
specific closed group that
Right.
you can join and be a part of.
Right.
I think it's an excellent idea.
Right.
Because I really don't feel that your comments are actually meant for everyone.
Right. I agree
You
with that.
know?
But everybody likes to be liked. That's why people end up having 5,000 friends on Facebook.
Right.
So,
Right.
but I
And
didn't
then
care
they
about being liked. So I was only talking to people that I knew or who kind of got my vibe through some random
right.
internet,
No, I
what's the
agree
word
with
I'm
you.
looking for?
I agree with you on
Charisma
that.
or
I just it's when you look back on it, the reason why I joined Twitter, I think it was Twitter and Facebook. The reason why I joined it was there was one of the professors at my school asked the question, can I tweet while I teach my class? And I said to them initially, when I read the request when it came in, and I said, I'm not sure. Let me open an account. That was the reason why I opened. That was the reason why I opened the account. Because I was just like, I was more than happy not even being a part of that.
Yeah, I got into it because of an ex who knew, so, and then it sat dormant for like 4 years.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really
I don't
understand
know.
Twitter. I mean, I like Twitter. I don't really understand Twitter.
I love Twitter. I love Twitter for the news, for the gossip,
right?
for
I respond to my Twitter like I want to say 10 times a week, like not necessarily every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally enjoy it. Totally engaged in it. I talk with the fellow sports podcasters,
which I get. I mean, Twitter is good if you have people who I don't know, man. I've always been a weird cat, so I like sports, but I don't talk sports. You know what I mean?
Right.
I like art, but I don't talk art. I like music, but I don't talk music. I'm obsessed with politics. That's the only thing that I don't know, man. It's I mean, everyone on Twitter has a political opinion, so I stay away from it on Twitter. My
it's a
strong suit, I stay
cesspool
away
now.
from on Twitter.
It's a cesspool now. It's a cesspool now. It's totally destroyed. It got destroyed around 2016 with the 2016 election.
With Donald Trump. Donald Trump killed Twitter.
No, I'm not saying Donald Trump killed Twitter. I said the 2016 election killed Twitter with these rabid pit bull dogs on left or on the right.
How to use Twitter. He showed everyone how to use Twitter. Donald Trump is not given enough credit for his crazy antics. Like, he did show everybody how to use Twitter, and who's the woman who just quit? The blonde lady, Katie. Anyway, she got him elected, and no women groups give her credit for that. So, but something tells me in 25 years, what was her name?
Kellyanne Conway.
Kellyanne Conway. So, I mean, she's the first woman to do it, right? You think that like everyone would be crazy about it, but it's politics. And then once the hurricane and this whole thing subsides,
it's so
they'll
seedy.
Get her credit in like 10 years.
It's so seedy and gross that people are just like, I feel horrible after this. Yeah. Like you want that 51 days to just fast forward,
don't you?
And just so we can be past this. That's how I felt, 2016
Oh my
when.
God, Thanksgiving is going to be horrible. I just thought about that.
Yeah, it is. It is because
Oh,
someone, half of the country is going to be upset.
yeah.
Half of the country is going to be
Well, the
upset.
half the country
Period.
was upset. Half the country is always upset. The elections are
Half
always
of the
swung by this
yes.
3% margin, which I always thought was bullshit. But yeah, it's like
Ha-
47. No, it's like 51-49, or a blowout is like 55-45. You know what I mean? But it's always these hairpin kind of like numbers, and I'm just kind of like, I'd like to just see a blowout. I'd like to see everybody agree that somebody should be president.
Yeah, it's um. Whoa. Okay. Hey, so we lost Chadwick Boseman,
Mm-hmm.
and I will tell you, great actor. Um, played in some iconic roles.
A lot of
Taken
iconic
take
stuff.
taken away too soon. Way too soon.
Yeah.
And I just personally I can't imagine dealing with stage 3 cancer, colon cancer, you know, and doing those roles. And I guess people, if you were not in his inner circle, you did not know.
Right. But I mean, it's not unheard of. I mean, Ulysses S. Grant famously had tongue cancer and throat cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and wrote his memoirs because he knew that the money that it generated would take care of his family. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe instead of relaxing, trying to do this thing, he was like, just I'll bust out all these great, like who knew that he didn't know they were great, but I'll bust out all this work, um, and fight this quietly to make sure that you know what I mean. But yeah,
I mean, it's huge loss, but this is where I go back into to Twitter. Word came out that he had passed away. Half of Twitter was deciding who was going to, what are they doing for Black Panther 2?
right. Because they were idiots.
And, you get to a point where you just like, oh, come on. This guy
Yeah,
is a real person. It's
yeah, but yeah, no, I see what you're saying. But I also this is the way I take the infosphere now, right? The idea that everyone gets to stand up and say whatever doesn't mean everyone will always be like eloquent or smart or not racist or not sexist or not whatever, right? So a lot of when I go through like YouTube comments, uh, I look for like the funny stuff because those people can
mm-hmm,
a sense of humor is a sign of intelligence. But if you're just a adult thought, I generally think that you're 12, especially if you have no like personal picture. If it's just some weird name and some like random cartoon picture, I generally know that you're not serious. But every now and then, I find somebody and I'm like, this dude's definitely not serious. And you go to like the dude's page. There's no
mm-hmm.
videos, there's no comments. It's just him on YouTube saying mean things about people. So you go, all right. So that's this is what the infosphere is. You shouldn't let it ruin your day, if that makes sense. So every day is going to be a new day as you get on it. Just know that
Nah,
some of these people are
I'm
idiots.
just,
And even if
as
you're
I've
one of the
said
idiots
before,
and you think I'm an idiot, just know that that guy's an idiot, and just keep it moving.
it's seedy. It's
Yes,
seedy. It
yes,
really is.
yes, it is,
And
and
what
it's
I
not
said
intelligent.
before,
But
it's
that's what
unprofessional. It's not
the internet
intelligent.
is like a bar that's also a college lecture hall, right? So half of these people are talking wise wisdom stuff, and then you can like sort of make a weird turn in this lecture hall and end up in like a bar where everybody's just kind of like a wild drunk saying anything and doing anything. Uh, so yeah, I don't know, man. It is what it
So
is. The internet
with
is. Don't let it get to you. Don't let the internet get to you. Is all I can tell you.
nah, it's three-quarters of the people. Like I said,
Like
it's
12. I'm
it's
serious. Like, you know what I
ridiculous.
mean? Like,
I like the
especially if you
special.
know a topic. If you know a topic, and you hear people going off on the internet, you're just kind of like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Mm-mm,
So yeah,
mm-mm.
it's just kind of like,
I like the special that ABC. So he passed away
yeah,
Friday night, going into Saturday morning, or it was announced by either his estate that he
his
passed
family,
away,
right, right,
right? And that Sunday night they played a commercial-free version of Black Panther. Then
right,
they did a tribute after the showing on it on on Disney, I mean on ABC, and that's when you started to you start to hear more stories about the person and stuff like that. I don't know. It's huge loss. Um,
yeah.
Great person. It's one of the few where you can say, okay, here was someone that was more than just give me my money, and here's someone that there was some type of outreach.
Yeah,
So, I do have to ask you a question. So, Ice Cube uploaded or recorded a video for Instagram,
right.
and Ice Cube's contract with Black America. Um, Ice Cube
Is that
is
what it's called? Ice Cube's contract with Black America?
well, it's kind of his contract with Black America. It's kind of
Oh, that's not what he officially named it. All right.
right. It's
Okay,
more on the
cool.
lines of how he
So it's
feels
not as good as
about
Ice Cube and the Lynch Mob. I always like that name.
no,
The
but
Lynch Mob.
it's more on the lines of everyone's telling you to vote, and I for one, and one of those people. I'm like, yo, you got to exercise your right to vote.
Yeah,
I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm just saying exercise your right to vote.
all right. Okay, so here's the thing. It's true you should exercise your right to vote or
To vote.
not to vote. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I
Mm,
think I told someone else this earlier. Back in the day, like the Klan would march, go into these black, small, desolate little towns, gather up everybody who's old enough to vote, and march them to the polls at gunpoint and make them vote for whoever they wanted to be in office, right? So that was people who had to vote for someone they didn't want to vote for, even though they wanted to vote for someone else. But it's also people who didn't want to be bothered to vote at all who had to go and register and cast a vote. So my position is this: if Donald Trump or Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton or whoever is insufficient for you, I think it's perfectly legitimate for you to sit it out. And the people who are lecturing you to do this are generally politicians who benefit by you going out and doing what they tell you to do, even as they never do what you want them to do. Does that make sense? I think that's right.
but you
Right? Yeah.
sitting out, you've just
You just say
take.
absolutely. Look, vote down ballot. Vote for your judges. Know who they are. That's important. Vote for your county sheriffs. Vote for your mayor. Vote for your governor. He runs the place. But when it comes to the mayor and your senator, take a flyer until they do what you ask them to do. They wouldn't even give you $600 in a pandemic. It's ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, this idea that
So wait, are
Barack
you only
Obama
talking about
telling
sitting?
me to
Are
vote
you
for
talking about
people.
only? Are you talking about only sitting out the presidential election, or are you
No,
factoring
I'm talking about
everything
any
in?
look, know enough about politics to not be a sucker and vote someone into office who will make it impossible for your kids to get to the next level. That's what I'm saying. Don't why can you leave a senator in office for 50 years, but you can't leave a president there for 50 years? Term limits for everybody. Vote everybody out. It's a pandemic, and you guys wouldn't even give the average American $600, but you're giving money to like trillionaires. It doesn't make any sense. And everybody knows it doesn't make any sense. So when they go, oh, well, we'll fix it by just coming down in November and voting Trump out or voting Biden in, that to me has the populace choosing a side when they never get anything anyway. So maybe if you concentrated on like your local mayor, who then became your local governor, who then became your local senator, you could see, oh, this guy's always been decent versus, standard nonsense. And it looks to be standard nonsense. So yeah, I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna exercise my right to vote, but I'm gonna take a pass on Joe Biden, and I may be spiteful of Joe Biden and vote for Donald Trump. That's how mean I can be with my vote, right? But
Here's the thing. That's your
yeah,
vote. That's your vote.
yes.
I
And by the way,
misunderstood
the
you. I
viewers have to go back
misunderstood
to your
you.
last show to get that
I
reference.
misunderstood you.
Yeah, no,
No,
this is
no.
your vote.
Historically,
Cast it or don't.
historically,
It is your vote. And I know people will browbeat you about voting, 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 but it's your vote. You can rightfully sit on it if you want to. It is your sacred duty to do whatever you want. You're an American. Mwah. God bless you. God bless America, or praise Allah to the Muslims, or Yahweh for the Jewish people, right? So whatever you worship, or free not to worship anything, vote on don't. Don't be browbeat, but when you do, make sure you know who you're voting for. Because when you do, if you don't, you screw us all over. You see what I'm saying? And it's that simple. So yeah, vote. And mind you, I would encourage you to vote. I would encourage you to vote, but I'm not going to guilt you into voting for someone who's a bad choice. So you have every right to take a pass on anybody you want. You don't like the mayor, don't vote for the mayor, but vote for the council people. If you don't like the council people, vote for the mayor. If you don't like any of them but one guy, go down there and vote for that one guy. And that's what I'm saying. That's the American way. And if we're not careful, it'll slip away, and that'll be it. But yeah, get
okay,
out there.
okay.
And you should
Because
insist.
I
You should
totally
insist that the
misunderstood you.
voting be fair. Screw all this cheating crap. You should insist on it, that the voting be fair. Anybody mucking around with the American vote, that should be a treasonous act. You know what I mean? But yeah, get out there and vote, man. And ladies, gentlemen, man, don't want to be sexist. But yeah, get out there and do that thing. And we'll see how it plays out on November. Oh God, when is the election day? The second Tuesday in November, first Tuesday in November. What day is
First,
that?
it's always the first.
It's going to be it's always the second Tuesday in November.
No,
No, it's the
it was the
first
first
Tuesday in
Tuesday.
November. The second
Right.
Tuesday in October is the Supreme Court. One of these is right. One of these is wrong. September 8th is election day?
Nah,
I gotta find out. When is election day?
November 3rd.
When is election day?
Here's an answer from timeanddate.com. Election day in the United States of America is the Tuesday following the first Monday in November.
Tuesday following the first Monday. So it's the Tuesday following the first Monday. So it's the 9th. November 9th is election day. Man, this is going to be balling out of control.
If don't make that mistake. It's not the night. Do not make that mistake.
Wait a minute. It's the second Tuesday. Did I mishear that? It's the second Tuesday
It's the first Tuesday.
It's the first Tuesday after the first. Oh my God, man! She just said it, and it just slipped right out of my head. All right, so
Listen,
Sunday, actually, November the first is the first is on a Sunday, which means there's going to be a Friday the 13th in November. But the first Tuesday after Monday, what did they say? The first Monday after Tuesday. Oh, anyway, I think it's the 9th. No, I'm sorry. I think it's
do not.
Tuesday.
No.
What is it?
Stop.
What is it?
It's the first Tuesday in November.
They just said after Monday. All
Well,
right, fine.
Tuesday usually follows Monday. Tuesday doesn't follow Monday?
No, I'm not even going to argue it. I'm just going to assume that you're right. Let me close these things. Yeah, all right.
So,
Let's see what happens when you get a
yeah,
don't
don't.
like, what?
But don't tell people the 9th
rattle it out
or the 10th.
We'll figure out
Don't
where I
tell
went
people
wrong.
that. You tell people that they'll show up on the wrong date, and the next thing you know, booyah, they've missed it.
It's crazy.
They've missed it.
Now.
He's looking hard. While you're looking for that,
no.
I just want to talk and close out with the whole TikTok drama. And
give me this again.
I mean, TikTok. It's the latest craze.
Tuesday, November 3rd. I'm sorry, Tuesday, November 3rd.
I've only been saying that for the last 5 minutes.
What did I misread here? November.
I've only been saying that for the last 5 minutes.
Second Monday after the second Tuesday. Man, however that Google. I'm gonna relook that Google thing up because that's ridiculous. All right, go ahead. I apologize to everyone. All right, but yeah. So TikTok. That's embarrassing.
TikTok. Its owner is ByteDance, Chinese company.
Right.
Latest and greatest craze. Millions upon millions of users. Microsoft wanted to buy the US portion of it.
Right.
Because, a lot of these companies, I think as consumers, we have to be smart with how we give away our data. We give our data and all of our personal information over and over and over. We share things, and we're the ones sharing them. Because the thing you got to remember, hey, just download this app. It's free. They've got you right there.
Yeah, but
they've got you right there. And go ahead.
Right. I don't think that's on the American citizenry. I think that's on the
what?
I think that's on the. Not everybody is an IT person. That's on. Look, the government sets standards for what banks can do, right? They set standards for college and university educations. There's no standard for these internet companies and what they do with your information.
You want regulation? You want regulation?
No, I want. I think if there were actual accountability, they'd be a little
What's
more
regulation? So, like for hospitals have HIPAA, schools have FERPA. So you want something?
Yeah, because at this point, they don't want to acknowledge it, but I think these things are more utilities than anything else. Right? I mean,
I don't see a benefit.
People need them to do homework, and people can't do homework.
Do you see a benefit
outside of Chuck E. Cheese? Not Chuck E. Cheese's, Chick-fil-A, just for the Wi-Fi, so they can do their homework. So, I mean,
do you see a benefit to TikTok and Facebook and
you can't have
Instagram? How does that make you better? I said, do you see a benefit to Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram?
No, not really. I think what you want is the young people in your country knowing computers so well that they are formidable, right? And the best people will go and work for the government or private companies, but the average person will still know how to, defrag this system and, secure it from like hackers and secure their data. But no one's giving you a lesson in any of this, and they expect you to just know it or take a class on it. The American education system has to keep up with the world around it, and they're not doing that. They're sort of dumbing us down so fewer and fewer of these elite people can rule us, and that's just a recipe for disaster. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. So Microsoft is out. Oracle is in.
Yep.
I'm just interested to see Oracle's stock prices. Does it move the needle tomorrow? It's because you're taking an older legacy company and you're giving it a base that is not really.
Is Microsoft the older legacy company?
Microsoft, Oracle, these are companies historically.
It's just funny now because I remember when they started. I'm like, wow, they're the legacy company now. Because back then it was GM.
Yeah,
right.
But I mean, if you think about it, it's not like, oh, Facebook has decided to purchase TikTok. Then you go, oh, okay, they bought the competition,
right?
But no, you're taking these companies that are ingrained in enterprise and applications in corporate America, and now you're looking at this new fan base of, hey, I've got, I don't know, 500 million millennials using this application, and you're sitting there like, how do you monetize it?
Yeah, but also in like other people, while you're trying to figure out how to monetize it, other people's are weaponizing it, right? So all these young people will eventually be like your world leaders, and people will be able to, have all their data. I mean, it ends spies, right? Now your spies have to have,
Well, the key is purchase the U.S. operations of it so that personal data isn't going back to China. You want to stop that. You want to stop and you want to limit that.
I don't know. Sometimes you just have to ban stuff, man. I mean, there's a lot of people in our system acting like they have a right to be here. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's problematic. The people in charge, I don't think, know what to do about it. I wouldn't be opposed to banning TikTok, but there's a lot of other like companies that operate here and give you stuff like, oh, we have a North American headquarters. But I'm like, but the money still goes back to like X, Y, or Z, wherever the headquarters, the world headquarters actually is.
TikTok, yes. I'm gonna say WeChat, no. WeChat is another.
What about Alibaba, who wants to get into the American game, and they're like China's version
Amazon.
of
Amazon.
Exactly.
I remember.
I
remember.
They're like, we promise you won't give your information to the Chinese government. You're like, you promise? Really?
I remember needing to purchase something from Alibaba. This is years ago. And they were like, well, you got to buy in bulk. You got to buy, let's say I needed 1 or 2 items. And they were like, oh, you need to buy 6 or 10. And I was like, 10? I was like,
we got to make it worth shipping it over there. It's got to be cost effective.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that app WeChat, which people, it's kind of like WhatsApp, where people are, hey, I'm in one country and you're in another country, and we can have a discussion over the internet, and we're not funding, some corporation's pocket. We're not lining their pocket because we want to talk to each other. It's all internet. It's just available.
I know this.
You know, I think
Excuse me.
there's legitimate reasons to use some of these apps.
Well, yeah,
So I would
but you
go
want to
against the
limit
whole, but I would go against the whole banning idea.
Yeah, but you want to limit the ability for the app to be nefarious, right?
Yes.
So if they're data mining American citizens and they're a foreign nation, you got to nip that in the bud. Nobody cares about your promises. You know what I mean?
Hence,
And I don't understand why we're
Microsoft
buying stuff from
and
the Chinese
now
companies anyway.
Oracle.
They sent us
Hence,
cookies with like drywall in it for crying out loud. So
right. Hence, Microsoft and now Oracle.
yeah,
You know, so I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, like I said, you don't have to ban it. And even if you did ban it, all those millennials, all they would do is install a VPN and they'd be back in business.
nah, I don't think so. I think they just move on to the next thing. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's what would happen.
I
They would
remember
move on to the
when
next thing.
when a lot of
Then I
people
died
used.
on that hill. They're teenagers,
I
and then
remember
someone
when
else
a
would
lot
come
of
up with a
people.
TikTok. I mean, before there was TikTok, there was Vine, right?
Vine.
So yeah,
There was
there'll
Vine.
be something else in like another 2 months or 6 months or however long it takes to get a spiffy name that catches fire.
Well, Vine and Snapchat and Instagram and you know, if one
They've all
isn't
become
buying
the
the
same
other
thing,
one,
right?
you know, I don't know. I just think I want to see Oracle's stock prices tomorrow. I just really, really, really want to see if it moves the needle. I mean, I don't know. I'm doubtful of it. I'm highly doubtful of it. I think last topic, and the last topic that I had listed was. Hang on 1 second.
Oh my God, how did I get that wrong? What was I listening to? The first Tuesday in November, the second.
Yeah, you was just and you were hell bent on it. You were hell bent, and I'm trying to tell you, and I'm like, all right, you know what?
Lord, I'm like, I don't know what I heard, but I could have. So the first Tuesday after Monday, I was like, wait, what? See, this is why you need to go and like check what you said. Yep.
I'm kind of reserved when I give out information, so I kind of like check, make sure.
November 3rd is election day, kids.
You've probably seen 5 million commercials. Peloton, the company Peloton.
No, I haven't seen very many Peloton commercials.
You haven't?
Yeah, nah. I think I saw
Dave.
it. It's funny you mentioned it. I think I saw it like last week because I was watching the Tour de France, and there were Peloton commercials in it.
They had their call, their earnings call.
Okay.
I mean, another company. It's like Zoom, where they're benefiting off of COVID. They're
Right.
benefiting off of gyms being closed. You know, we know gyms
Right.
are slowly opening or across the nation, but they've got a millions paid subscribers. And I think they said they're at 132%. Like their numbers are through the ceiling.
32%.
Dude, COVID made people go out and purchase their overpriced products.
$5,000, right? How much is a Peloton bike?
Dude, it's like 2,400.
Is that? Oh yeah, okay.
It's like 2,400, and you got to have the proprietary shoes to actually use the bike.
No Really?
Yes, you do.
Special shoes to ride
You
a
need
bumper
you
bike?
need special shoes to lock in to use their bike. Um, it's interesting. I, I for one would like to see what some of these companies do once we have the vaccine in sometime in 2021 and then probably late 2021 when they
Things even
actually
out.
start to you kind of wonder. You kind of wonder
Yeah,
because
I
these
think
numbers that you're
what'll likely
seeing.
happen is people begin to sell these things off and it'll undercut their market.
Okay. So you
Yeah,
think
so if they're
people
selling brand
will?
new ones for like $3,000 and you can get picked up a used one for like 1,100 or 800, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. So what are you thinking now that gyms
Warmer's
are?
economic uncertainty principle.
But what do you think about when gyms start to reopen? You think people are
I don't know,
going
man. I
to?
haven't been to my gym, and they keep taking money out of my account. So I'm thinking about going down there and just canceling straight out. I used to run on the street anyways in my cargo shorts, and then
But that's
that was
crazy. You talked about something. So at no point your local gym didn't say, "Hey, we understand. We're closed." They were
nope.
still taking.
Yep, because it's capitalism. So
Jeez.
I'm about to end it. Maybe I use $10 there to get Disney Channel. What's the Disney one called?
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Yeah. Then I'll be truly balling out of control. I actually need a good sports network.
You didn't. You gonna tell me through this 4, 5, 6 months you let them take money out of your account? You didn't. You didn't
Yeah, because I
run
was
up
gonna
on
go
them.
back. I was gonna go back. I was gonna go.
Okay, because that sounds so
Like
unlike
going
you.
back there. Because every time I drive by and I peek in, it's always like 8 or 9 people. Like, well, I can hit that treadmill for like. Then like.
So wait, when did your gym reopen?
An NCAA guy just died of COVID. He was like, he had to be. How do you when you graduate college? 21.
21, 22?
Yeah, he's between like 17, 18 to
No.
21 to 22. I'm just kind of like
When did your gym reopen?
super fit. Um, the the governor, I think we opened them. I want to say last month.
Okay.
Not very much longer than that.
Okay.
But yeah, so people in there. But there's only like I mean, it's a pretty fairly big spot. But there's only like when I drive by, but there's more. There are just as many workers in there as there are clients running on treadmills or doing other stuff. So that means there's like 10 people in there, 5 being clients or so, and the other 5 being like desk person and yeah. So,
Okay.
and I just kind of go, yeah, well, I should, I want to. Now I'm just like, just stop it and not go anymore until this whole thing is cleared up. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go tomorrow and cancel my gym membership.
Yeah, I
Drop down to the beach and run on the beach like it's freaking 10 from like 1978 with Bo Derek. I forgot how her name
Oh
Jasmine.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Man, let's wrap this thing up.
Yep.
Best ways to get in contact with you?
True Armor on most platforms or True S Armor on the others. Yeah, follow me on Twitter. That'd be cool.
Got it. This is Ted Hicks, Late Night Parents.